Hello and welcome back to another episode of Popular Philosophy, where we will be introducing a new figure, but covering some of the same issues that plagued the 20th century. Now, in the previous weeks, we discussed Theodor Adorno and Max Horkheimer's famous Dialectic of Enlightenment, which could be seen as one of Adorno's earlier works. And secondly, in the second week, we were able to discuss Adorno's Negative Dialectics, which was a solo project, and expressed some of the themes that Adorno would come to hold on to throughout his career, and in the end, give a matured approach or potential solution to those problems. Now, in this week, we're going to be dealing with one of Adorno's contemporaries, Martin Heidegger, famous for phenomenology, and also his theory on technology. Now, in order to begin, we must now begin to occupy the mind state of Heidegger. Imagine a world where human beings no longer direct technology, but where technology directs human beings. This world isn't science fiction. It's our world today. And almost a century ago, the philosopher Martin Heidegger warned us it was coming. Now, Heidegger isn't easy. He writes in a dense and strange language, oftentimes inventing words, just like Hegel. But hidden in his work is a chilling insight that the greatest danger facing humanity isn't war or famine or even climate change directly. It's the way technology transforms how we see ourselves and how we see our world. Heidegger called this danger Gestell, which is often translated in German as a framework or an enframing. Now the question is, what does this mean? It's when everything, nature, people, even time itself, as Heidegger would go on to discuss in his famous work, Being and Time, is reduced to a kind of standing reserve, a resource to be used, optimized, and controlled. For instance, a forest is no longer a living ecosystem. It becomes a lumber stock. A river is no longer a flowing incandescent system of nature and wonder. It becomes a hydroelectric power. And even you, as a human being and as an individual, are no longer a person. You become a data point in a system, something to be managed and predicted. Now, does this sound familiar? Think of how algorithms track your every click, how social media reduces friendships to engagement metrics, how we speak about human capital instead of human beings. Now, Heidegger didn't live to see TikTok or AI, but he saw the logic that it would produce. And here's the paradox. Technology doesn't just give us tools, it gives us a worldview. It convinces us that the only way to relate to reality is through control, efficiency, and optimization. This is why Heidegger calls technology not just a tool, but a destiny, one that risks trapping us into a single way of thinking. But there's hope. Heidegger doesn't just give us only despair. He says, within the danger lies a possibility. If we recognize the danger of the framework or the enframing, we may recover another way of being. That other way of being is what he calls dwelling. To dwell is to live in the world, not simply to try to master it, as we pointed out in Adorno and Horkheimer's Dialectic of Enlightenment. Instrumental reason was meant to master nature, to dominate it. Dwelling can be seen as a kind of alternative to this, in that we no longer try to garner control, but we exist within it. It's not just about rejecting technology, however. It's about remembering that we are more than what technology sees in us. So we are not just simply a data point. The river is not simply a hydroelectric opportunity, that these things have inherent meaning with respective to our own human ends. So here's the question for the 20th century. When AI data and digital systems increasingly define our world, can we still find a way to dwell? Or have we already surrendered ourselves to the destiny Heidegger warned us about? If you found this video thought-provoking, subscribe for more philosophy videos